The story begins by showing the masses where planet Earth is starting to be threatened by meteors sent from other planets, namely Datu's client planet from a world inhabited by deadly alien insects, so that all mankind agrees to recruit strong and brave youths to go to Datu's client planet and destroy that alien insect race.
Of our solar system, Plendathu must be eliminated.
And the story will focus on a young man named Rico. Personally, there is a kind of love triangle when his girlfriend named Daisy Flores likes Rico, but Rico already has a lover or another lover named Carmen, so there will be intrigue and polemics that will occur when they are no longer together.
You're using force, and force, my friends, is violence.
And let me introduce you to Rico's best friend named Carl. The good thing is that he is one of the smartest students in school because he has the advantage of being telepathic or reading minds. Although not yet fully usable, this phenomenon occurs because in this era some human beings have experienced evolution as a result of the conditions of the planet Earth, which are no longer the same as the current conditions.
Go bug Mom, Cyrano. How do you make him do that?
Because soon Rico will graduate from school. His parents also asked where to go. Rico continued his education. Rico replied that he wanted to join the federal service to go to another planet in order to exterminate the alien insects and save planet Earth, which is the reason he did it. Because Carmen's lover is also joining the federal service.
On my own. See the galaxy for a couple of years.
Long story short, Rico, Carmen, and Carl register with the Federal Service, where Rico will enter mobile infantry, namely field soldiers. Then Carmen will become a pilot, while Carl will enter the Development and Research Division according to the intelligence he has.
No matter what, we'll always be friends.
And again, there was a debate between Rico and his parents when they found out that Rico joined the Federal Service because of a leak where his father said, "Listen to Dad, don't start everything on a woman's basis because women can dump you. And when a woman dumps you, your heart can be broken. When your heart is broken, your career will be destroyed. When your career is ruined, your finances will be in a mess. When your finances are in a mess, Mom and Dad have to cover it all up again."
I won't quit. I'm telling you, you will. You're not going back.
I hope you don't ruin your life over some silly little girl who wants to look...
In the end, Rico still wants to enter the Federal Service where for the last time he says goodbye to Carmen, who is on the other side to meet again in the next few years. Long story short, Rico was already at the training camp where there was a fierce sergeant named Zim. He did not hesitate to beat, punish, and even break a cadet's hand when he was deemed guilty.
Run, I said! Run! Kronsky, keep pace!
It was then that a cadet who transferred from another unit appeared, who turned out to be Rico's classmate, Daisy, who still likes Rico and his feelings will not change because his love is true love.
Sir, I heard it was the best, sir!
It is the best.
When it's time to eat, Rico finds a cadet cutting in and grabbing the line. His name is Levi. There was going to be a fight. In fact, the two would become best friends when they were in trouble in this game.
I guess you and me could be buddies. What do you say?
It's about that. It's about who's the best.
Hey!
Several months passed. Rico and his unit spent time together, ate together, practiced together, slept in the same room, and took a shower in the same bathroom, making this unit considered the best unit because of the closeness and teamwork they have.
This is where we live. It's not much, but it's home.
During that time, Rico still communicated with Carmen by sending videos to each other. Carmen herself is currently on the space station to achieve her dream, which is to become a pilot. It was then that Carmen met an assistant pilot instructor who turned out to be at the same school as her. His name is Gender. In fact, Gender had liked Carmen for a long time, so this meeting was enough to make her feel overjoyed.
Maybe it's fate.
Maybe not.
Clear.
Rico returns to the unit and plays a game of war where Daisy and Rico work well together to make their team victory against the enemy, eventually impressing the sergeant and making Rico the team leader. On that happy day, Rico actually had to feel pain when he received a message from his girlfriend Carmen, who decided to end their relationship. After a while, Carmen was convinced she wanted a career in space, and there was no chance for the two of them to take it to a more serious level.
I have to follow my heart.
I'd be here if it wasn't for her.
What are you talking about? You made squad leader on your own.
This suddenly made Rico remember his father's words about a girl who could destroy a man more than anyone in this world. And it turns out all the words Dad was true. One day during practice, one of Rico's members had a problem with his helmet, which often came off, causing his vision to be disturbed. Rico also told him to open the helmet to be examined. But suddenly... As a result of this incident, the member had to die as a result of the negligence of the team leader, who was none other than Rico, so the council gave him canning so that this incident became a lesson that AV quality helmets. It is very important to protect our heads.
10 lashes.
Lay down on this, son. It helps.
While in space, Carmen looks relaxed with her partner Gender, where her intention to focus on her career turned out to be just an excuse when Carmen actually made out and seemed attracted to each other.
Oh, third watch always seems to last forever.
You know what I want.
That's when they were surprised by a warning alarm telling them that there was a giant meteor headed for their ship, where the meteor was sent by alien insects to planet Earth, and they all couldn't stop the meteor's speed. Yes, right when the meteor was heading towards Earth, Rico decided to resign after the bad luck he experienced, such as being dumped by his girlfriend and the death of one of his members, where he had just made a video call with his parents. Rico has to be made to visit when he finds out the latest news from the town where he lives, which was destroyed and nothing left due to being hit by a meteor.
Unanimously for mobilization to destroy. Nothing lives in what was once called the Latin.
The result is that Rico canceled his resignation and was determined to start his first mission to avenge the death of his parents, while at the same time wanting to burn down the Datu client's planet.
Carry on, Private.
Yes, sir.
In the meantime, we'll see Carl making great headway in finding the bug's weakness, namely by shooting straight at the nerve points so the bugs can be 100% certain to die instantly. Back to Rico and the team who are already on the space station and on their way to the planet Klein Datu accidentally meet Carmen and Gender, who are officially lovers. So of course that made Rico angry and disappointed. Oh, here's the reason. Never thought you would leave me for another man. Thought you wanted to focus on a career as a pilot. It turns out that you already have a new idol. Basically, a flat-faced style lizard, a pregnant cockroach, a pig, a dinosaur, a brontosaurus, and a hedgehog with a lid for a stone bladder.
Don't do me any more favors.
Johnny, wait.
Forget it, Lieutenant.
We are at D-3 and counting.
Long story short, they arrived at planet Datu and went there to exterminate all the alien bugs named Arcaned. The first time it descended at high speed made some of the crew sick and panicked. At the same time, a series of plasma shots from the insects hit several of the destroyed midships, including the ship Carmen and Gender were on. Rico and his own team managed to land on planet Datu, and finally, we will see giant alien insects that become plasma shooters that make meteors in the sky slide towards planet Earth, so that these shooting insects will be the first targets to be destroyed.
Rockets up! Rocket crew, move up!
Now, after the shooting bugs died, now they had to kill the Croco, which, although they were not as big as the shooter bugs, how surprised Rico and the team were when they saw that these Arcand had a very large number, not only thousands, but millions of Arcanid. It's crazy that there are so many victims. Even a field reporter became a victim after being eaten by an insect right during a live broadcast in front of the camera. As a result of taking many lives, one of the government leaders resigned and was replaced by a new leader where yesterday's tragedy was truly a huge disaster, so another method or strategy was needed to be able to understand and kill the arcane.
We can ill afford another Klendathu.
Some kind of bug that we haven't seen yet. A leadership.
On the other hand, we will see Carmen and Gender, who managed to survive yesterday's plasma shot. There he saw the news about a mobile infantry unit that had died in yesterday's incident. After searching for the name Juan Rico, he was declared dead while fighting.
Carmen?
Even though Rico managed to survive, even though he is currently in a recovery tube, where Deezy and Leafy are his friends, they are always loyal to accompany him and wait for his recovery. Long story short, Rico has now recovered and the three of them are transferred to another unit led by a lieutenant named Razjak. This guy has robotic arms because he had an accident on a mission, but even though his hands are not intact. But his abilities and prowess are recognized by all teams and highly respected by everyone.
You get me.
We get you, sir!
Wasting no time, Lieutenant Razjak immediately led his troops to find Arcaned's hull and destroy it from the inside. With the help of the air, they could walk on land and finish off the remaining Arcanet. It was then that a giant flame-throwing insect appeared, which made one of its members lose its right arm. Rico himself took the initiative to climb the hill, then looked for opportunities to be able to climb on the insect's back. And after successfully punching a hole in the shell, Rico inserts explosives so that the insect dies immediately. As a result, thanks to his courage, Rico was appointed corporal and became one level higher than the other members. While celebrating the victory, we will see Rico and Deezy's intimacy begin to intertwine, and he finally realizes that the person he has considered a friend is actually the most loyal person and loves him sincerely and unsung.
So, Rico, what are you doing after the dance?
The next day, Lieutenant Razjak returned to lead the team to search for the squad unit, which was reported missing from the radar and lost communication. During the trip, there was an incident of flying insects, which managed to grab one of the members, but in the end they managed to find the post where the team was standing. What broke the lieutenant's heart was that he found many corpses of soldiers with holes in their heads and no brains. All of them were slaughtered by smoking. They also found the general hiding in the cupboard. He looked terrified and told them all to leave immediately. The warning was immediately confirmed, and tens of thousands of Arcanids surrounded the place. And Rico couldn't help but immediately request a collection ship to evacuate them all. With a disproportionate number, it is clear that many members died, including Lieutenant Razjak himself, who slipped or fell into the hole. When there is no chance of survival, the lieutenant orders Rico to shoot him instead of dying in agony from the bug.
Do it, Rico!
When the shuttle arrives, a giant insect appears from the hole. Deezy's luck handles it and quickly kills it with explosives. But how unfortunate his fate was when Dizzy had to be injured by an Arcane who managed to injure him quite seriously. Just before the place was surrounded, Rico quickly brought Deezy onto the plane. Again, Rico had to feel hurt when he had just found his true love for Deezy. He died before the two of them could take a more serious step. Coincidentally, the plane was piloted by Carmen and Gender, who were quite surprised when they found out that Rico was still alive from the incident the other day. Because Rajak was dead, now Rico is appointed as the new lieutenant and leads the funeral ceremony for his girlfriend. After the ceremony was over, the leader from the Development and Research Division appeared, who turned out to be his best friend, Carl.
Johnny, I'm sorry it had to be your unit on P.
Carl explains that the reason insects are difficult to find from their nests, or why they can continue to encircle other units, is because it is alleged that there is one thinking insect that has above average intelligence, where their next goal is to find and catch the thinking bug, so from there, everything will be much easier.
We're going back to P to capture that brain.
In short, Rico and his troops are ready to carry out a mission where his rank as lieutenant has made Rico now respected by everyone, including the additional troops who seem to have just graduated from training. At the same time, Carmen and Gender also have the misfortune when a shot of insect plasma destroys the ship, so the two of them were forced to board a small plane and make an emergency landing at a location not far from Rico's current mission location. Carmen and Gender are forced to get off the plane and call for reinforcements. But suddenly Arcanate appears. He immediately attacked and made them both submit to the Queen Ake, the thinking bug.
Rescue party! Third squad, come with me!
And this is the thinking insect that is the brain of all the actions of the arc aimed attacking humans. His preference for the human brain is not without reason, because apart from being nutritious and full of protein, the thinking insect also absorbs the intelligence essence of each victim so that they can think like humans. After Gender sucked his brain out, now it's Carmen's turn to be the victim. But with the knife in Carmen's hand, she manages to cut off its sucking fangs, which Rico and some of his troops coincidentally appear.
You know what this is?
One of the members was caught and decided to blow himself up to become a war hero, so that everything in this hole was destroyed and destroyed. Nothing was left when the troops left. The troops caught the thinking insect, who was the queen, and now it's time for Carl to act using telepathic powers so that the insects appear the thinker is afraid, which means victory is in sight.
It's afraid!
So when all the troops cheered, Rico saw Sergeant Zim, who is now a soldier, and of course his rank is below Rico, so Sergeant Zim, who was once known to be fierce, is now his subordinate. But that doesn't make Rico arrogant towards people who are older or more senior than him. Now that the thinking insects have been caught, now they all need to find a way to find out how these insects think. Coupled with weapons that have been upgraded to level 5, victory is clearly in sight.
The weapon. We need soldiers. Will defeat it.
Wow! I feel good. I knew that I would not.